Zeus McLurkin, can you hear us all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Great. Good to hear. And
Awesome.
talking to a Harlem Globetrotter right now. First of all, I guess I want to say thank you for joining us. And have you ever been to Minnesota before? I'm sure this is probably a dumb question, but...
No, I've been to Minnesota a couple of times. It's my 8th year with the Harlem Globetrotters. I've actually been to Duluth as well. It's my first time ever seeing this beautiful sunrise and view that you guys got here.
It is pretty nice now that the sun is coming up a little bit earlier than before, because it was always so dark around here. So what are you going to be doing in the Duluth area?
So we're playing a game a week from today at the Annabelle Arena. We're going to be playing there at 7 o'clock next Thursday. And tickets are available still online at harlemglobetrotters.com. So I'm just here to kind of stir the pot and get everybody ready for the game. I'm also going to be visiting a couple schools in the area, and we got an anti-bullying rally that I'll be putting on a little bit later. So they're keeping me busy.
You know, I'm a little older. I grew up in Illinois, and I had the opportunity when I was a kid in a little town called Clinton, Iowa, to see the Harlem Globetrotters. I was able to see Meadowlark Lemon and them guys play. This would have been in the early 70s.
Yeah, that was back when Harlem Globetrotters were just rock stars, man, introducing basketball all over the world. Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal, and you know, you say something interesting there, because that's one of the coolest parts about being a Globetrotter. Like just walking around Duluth this morning, you know, I went to a Caribou Coffee and somebody recognized my Harlem Globetrotter shirt. And immediately, you know, it took them back to a happier time in their life when they went to a game with their parents or with their grandparents. And they started sharing with me a story about Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal in the 70s. And I think that that positive thought that comes to their mind is one of the coolest parts about being a Globetrotter. I get people's best versions of themselves everywhere I go. You know, they immediately share those intimate family stories with me. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you cannot go to a Harlem Globetrotters game and not have a good time.
Oh, no, it's impossible, no matter your age either. Like, you don't have to be a basketball fan to have a good time at a Globetrotter game. You'll look out in the stands and see somebody who's 10 years old, somebody 40 years old, somebody in their 70s, and all of them are having a great time.
You know, I was fortunate the time I saw them. They do that, or they had that bit with the water bucket, and typically it was filled with paper. But this particular time they had set something up, and it was a local celebrity, and it had water in it, and he got doused. So
yeah, I can't promise that it will be confetti or water.
There you go.
Here, but if it is water, we'll at least warm it up for you. It's not going to be as cold as it is outside.
Some Duluth lake water.
There
for
you go.
There.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
Is it for the Harlem Globetrotters a type of thing like it is the rest of it, where it's like you have to try out each year to continue to get back on the team and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's just like any professional league, and that's also how we acquire our players, too. We have scouts that go out and check people out while they're in college or while they're playing professionally in other leagues, and we bring them out to a training camp. If you make it through training camp, then you can be a Harlem Globetrotter.
Well, and it was also the Harlem Globetrotters that kind of broke the gender barrier, too, and there have been women Globetrotters. So that's an achievement on the Harlem Globetrotters as well.
Yeah, we broke the gender barrier in 1985 with Lynette Woodard. She was the first female to play with the all-male pro team, and today we have about 4 females on the team. And not just the gender barrier, but we also broke the color barrier in the game of basketball. In 1950, the first Harlem Globetrotter to become an NBA player was also the first African-American to play in the NBA. And his name was Nat Sweetwater Clifton. So that actually came on the heels of the Globetrotters defeating the Minneapolis Lakers in 1948 and 49. So, you know, we're innovators of the game of basketball. We broke the color barrier, the gender barrier, and we invented the slam dunk, the three-point shot, and the three-man weave, all of which, you know, you'll see in today's popular NBA game.
Well, absolutely. And I, you know, if people look back at history a little bit, the Harlem Globetrotters were at one point playing professional teams and beating them with some huge consistency.
Absolutely.
To the embarrassment of the pro teams.
Yes.
What were some of the records that you guys have broken? Because I know the Harlem Globetrotters just in general are kind of known for, you know, all these crazy records. And I think you had, what was it, the most dunks in a row?
Yeah, so the most slam dunks in 1 minute. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most slam dunks in 1 minute.
How cool.
I have 16 dunks in 1 minute. And that was, the stipulations on that were pretty crazy. I had to go behind the free throw line in between every attempt. So, and I had to dribble as well, so it couldn't be like a travel. It had to be an official attempt. And that was tough, but I made it happen after one attempt.
Yeah, so having to go back and forth for that. I think I watched that on YouTube the other day when I was just checking things out. That's got to be a pretty cool thought, just knowing that you have a world record in the books there.
See, now I can get behind this one. You got the record for the most bounced three-pointers, because that's about the only way I could make a three-pointer would be to bounce it in.
It's sheer luck after all that.
Yeah, I was able to make 5 in 1 minute, and that was from NBA range. I attempted that one about 3 times, and on the third try, I was able to knock them down. That was hard, though.
How cool. And then I guess one of the last questions here I have, wrapping things up here. Sports-induced asthma, what is that, and what's the difference between that and then regular old asthma, I suppose?
So with asthma, everybody has different triggers. Some people's are pollen, some people it's pets. Mine, it was exercise-induced. And my whole career, I didn't even realize I had this ailment until my senior year in college. So my whole life, I thought I was just slower than everybody and getting tired quicker than everybody, and I just wasn't mentally tough enough. But then the doctor let me know that I had exercise-induced bronchial spasms or exercise-induced asthma, and issued me an inhaler. And once I knew what my trigger was, and I knew to take my inhaler about 2 hours before any type of strenuous activity, it really leveled the playing field for me, and my basketball career kind of took off after that. So, I let kids know all over the place, you don't have to let your asthma be a hindrance to you. You can push through it, and, you can be a professional athlete one day.
That is crazy. Well, that's great. Great to hear. Informational here at 7:30 in the morning. Thank you very much, Zeus McLurkin. Enjoy your time in Duluth, and thank you for checking in with us this morning here.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yep, have a good one. Zeus McLurkin there.
How cool is that?
Yeah, a Harlem Globetrotter. And I'm going to be the first to admit now that he is off the phone that I have never seen the Harlem Globetrotters. I've only seen highlight films.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them. And it's.
Have you?
Yeah, like I said, you can't go. You absolutely cannot go to a Harlem Globetrotter game and not have a good time.
I've heard nothing but good things, and by just seeing the videos that I was looking up, whether it was yesterday or seeing them beforehand,